Temur from SaltRoadPatrol here. I'm going to do another competitive league with our black-green energy list that we got going on today. So we won the die roll. Chose to play first. I think that's inescapable. We have a cub after getting some energy, or we can even play a siphoner if we wanted to. So we'll go ahead and keep this. Do need some lands. This grasp is kind of dead right now, but we will see what happens against Big Dog over here. Mr. Momir Vig. Post of birds. I will gain 1 energy. Thank you. Lumbering Falls. Okay. I think given our land shortage, we want to be drawing cards. So we're going to play that Glint Sleeve Siphoner here. If we knew we were playing Temur, then playing this Greenbelt Rabbit Pager would probably be better, because we know they couldn't, well, they could technically, well, no, they can't harness it because they can't get it for the 4th energy, because if they play Neither Hub, they have to use that for their red. But I think we're still just fine playing out this Siphoner here. And hopefully we get to draw a card with the next turn. We'll see what lands they play. Sure enough. Incendiary Flow. Alright. That's a good draw. That's a good draw. So we can make a 3/3 cub, which is the best use of our mana, so I kind of like that right now. But I mean, we play a 2/2 cub, and if he tries to shock it, we can make it a 3/3. If he hits another Harness or Incendiary Flow, then good on you. If we draw another land, we can hopefully have some combination of cards here. What you got? Rogue Refiner would be good. No, you got the Harness Lightning. Alright. They always have it. And they get 2. Okay. Mountain. Alright. Well, I think at this point, hopefully they're out of stuff to do. We can either stick this Aethersphere Harvester, which I think at this point is probably the best thing we can do, and then next turn we can attack with, we can play and then attack with this Harvester. Also gets us a 4th energy, meaning we can make this cub a 4/4 right away if we need to. So I like that plan. They just have their 1 main deck unnatural. They don't. Alright, let's lead on this Rampager. See if this gets countered. Alright. Excellent. I'd rather that get countered because this cub, like I said, can be a 4/4 here. We're not under any pressure, so I'd rather leave the energy up to make this a 4/4 than to gain a little life here. If they have another Harness Lightning, it's a kind of a moot point, but anything else is good for us here. Ugh, that was not a good draw though. Well, I think we're going to go for it. See how badly we get blown out here. Counter. disallow? Sure. So the question here is if we'd rather attack for potentially 4 with the long tusk cub, if we want to try to pump our energy into this now, or if we want to hold off just to swing with his Aether Sphere Harvester again. I think if they had another removal spell, they would have used that. I'm going to try to go in on the cub here. Not as good as if we had a snake, obviously, but... yeah, again, if they have the Incendiary Flow, it doesn't matter here, so... Interesting. So, I was gonna say we could attack with a Hissing Quagmire here, but I think we just go for this again, see what happens. Run them out of counters, and hopefully later on in the game we can resolve something bigger. What do you have? Glimmering in response, okay. On bottom, on top. That's 9. Yeah, we can't get this cub outside of harness range, unfortunately. We can only make it a 7. Okay. I'm assuming they have Gearhulk here, which there's nothing we can really do about anyway at this moment. I think we want to try to pressure here. They could use it to eat our Rishkar. Yeah. And the question is whether they want to draw cards or try to harness lightning. Okay. Yeah, so they're going to try to kill Cub here. Unfortunately, we can only make it a 7. So it's if we value this energy more, or if we value... So they go up to 9. Leaves them with 2 energy. Yeah, I think we could have attacked better this turn. I think we could have left up this grasp to try to keep our Rishkar alive. It would have been much, much better. A little rusty. Haven't played this deck in a couple weeks. Make them spend as much energy so future harnesses can't kill things, hopefully. Yeah. So they need to rip some way to kill this flyer here, or they're still dead. I think we just have to go for it. You got it? harness lightning? Of course you did. That doesn't do anything. Oh, glimmering for... Okay, yeah. Glimmering for your bottom. Was it in your top 4 cards, or? Apparently it was not. Alright. Well, we stole one away from control there. That card would have been helpful there. Alright, it was a bad attack into that Gearhold, but we were able to pull through. They almost assuredly have towers. Fatal Push tends to get nothing. They probably play Rogue Refiners, and that's about it. So you can technically push that, but it's hard to kind of ensure that that's how that lines up. Take out things that we get blown out for playing. We might bring in one of these grasps. These are good just because, again, they fly. And it's a question of, like, how many of these kind of things you want to bring in. I think we're going to, on the draw, we're going to cut 2 siphoners for 2 natural states. Try it like this. On the play, we might go back to the more aggro plan of playing the glint sleeves. Okay, sand is perfectly reasonable. We have an early threat, something to strip their hand, a way to get energy, and this is essentially your 3rd land. Alright, well, the 2nd Gearhulk is certainly not as good as the 1st. There's a question here whether you'd rather get forest or swamp. We took out the grasps, so don't really need double swamp, so we'll get a forest. Let's see what they have. And a tomb. Did you keep 1 land or a tomb? Ooh. And do you have shock? We're gonna go for it. You have to assume they're gonna removal spell this right here. But if they do, they're going to do it on their turn, allowing us to slam this bestiary. Yep. You got it, buddy. So that's big. This is a really good card in the matchup. Obviously, any control deck, you just want to be scrying relevant things to the top and then drawing as many cards as you can. Alright, this is a land and it is energy. We need both of those things, so I think it's probably good enough. Transgress them here. They're gonna probably want to counter this. They're gonna glimmer in response. Interesting. So we get to take what they take after glimmer, but we don't get their card draw spell out of there. Bottom, top. They have 4 lands, a tune. Alright then. Well, they're not countering, but they are killing the first. I think we might try to get them with this natural obsolescence on the walking ballista. Making them think they're getting value here. Or could play it next turn and draw a card off of it. I like that. Okay. So they have yet another card. Or a land card. What'd you draw? Draw something you could play. Natural Obsolescence is your bestiary. It's gonna kill you. There's a good boy. Ooh. Change of plans, boys. Two threats into, if you didn't draw the answers right now, you are in trouble. Slam 2 Gear Hulks in a row. For you. Are you F6'd? Oh boy. That's bad news for you. I don't think they can come back from this. This spell doesn't have, this deck doesn't have a sweeper that I know about. Chain together, Torrential Gear Hulk. Natural Obsolescence. Okay, that's probably, these natural states might need to, we still haven't seen a tower, so we may need to, targeting Harness Lightning, okay. Well, you have 1,000,000 energy, what would you like to do? Trying to harness the Gear Hulk. Okay. I think you're still dead. Because no matter what you block, yet that was the wrong block. That was the wrong block. Well, off to a good start here, taking down Temur Control. We'll see you next match.